All right, guys, welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. My name is George Wright III, here with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. Let's start you with the quote of the day. And if you're not getting these, make sure you check us out. You can go to Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. You're going to see these quote of the days every single day during the week, 7 days a week. And the quote today is, "Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." These quotes are here to be able to inspire you and remind you that it's so important for you not to give up. It's so important for you to continue to grow and expand and create your best life. What we want to do here with the Daily Mastermind is every week, I want to get you refocused on what's important. And if you're listening to this podcast, it's probably because you're trying to create your best version of yourself and live that life that you were meant to live, your best life. And so this week, what I'd like to do is I'd like to talk to you a little bit about your energy. And this is so important because, as you know, I believe our thoughts create our life. And as a conscious creator of your life, you've got to dig deep into what it is you can do to expand your knowledge, your skills, and your productivity, everything you can do inside your life. And this idea of energy is so important. In fact, it's one of those 6 performance habits that Burchard talks about in his book, High Performance Habits. And he always talks about energy. And in his book, he talks about being able to release tension, bring joy, and get in good shape. And these things will help you to create more energy in your life. But I came across a good article, and I really liked some of the suggestions and feedback that this article gives. And it's from a gentleman by the name of Tony Schwartz, who's the president and founder of the Energy Project in New York. Because I think, there's a couple things we need to keep in mind. As the world gets more and more fast-paced, as we try to get more and more results out of less and less time. I don't know if you feel like me. I have this conversation all the time with people, whether it's personal, family, friends, or even business, that time just seems to be going so fast. And even though logically we all have 24 hours in a day, and logically we know that the time is that equalizing factor that all of us have. We all have 24 hours. The question is, how are you spending it? But I want to get you thinking about something just slightly different this week. And what I want to propose to you is that the core problem with continuing to work longer hours and more, especially if you're doing something on the side, or you've got a side hustle, or you've got passion, or you're even, for example, trying to expand your businesses or your investments or whatever. A lot of times we feel like the solution is to work longer hours. But the problem with that is that time is just a finite resource. You only have so much of it. And so it's important for you to think about the idea, and I want to plant this seed with you, that energy is a totally different story. Energy is not a finite resource. Energy is something that you can create. And, it's something that comes from what Tony Schwartz likes to call 4 different well springs or areas that you can generate energy. And I think it's important for us this week to talk a little bit about how you can create more energy in your mind, your body, your emotions, and your spirit, because I think sometimes we just feel like, man, I need more energy, I'm going to get some sleep. Or, man, I need some more energy, I'm going to get more focused. But it's very important for you to understand that you can create energy in several different ways. But it is about focusing your energy. So let's talk about this, because, Schwartz and McCarthy are a couple gentlemen that created a pretty big study at, I think it was Wachovia Bank, as they were expanding branches all over the country. But they gave a list of some suggestions of things you could do to create more energy in your physical, your emotional, your mental, and your spiritual areas of your life. And I thought emotional energy, that's a big one, because that's also a big drain. So I'm going to give you some just hot suggestions right off the bat here Monday morning. I'm also going to dig a little deeper into this throughout the week, in between some of these interviews with success experts and, money and business experts we have coming in. So let's talk a little bit about this. How can you create more energy with your physical energy? Well, some of the suggestions that we've got is enhance your sleep by setting an earlier bedtime and reducing the use of alcohol. So many times we don't realize that a little change in our sleep pattern is going to make a big change in our energy. You can also reduce stress by engaging in cardiovascular. If you're not working out some way, somehow, or monitoring your food intake, you're robbing yourself of energy. You're literally robbing yourself of energy. They also suggest smaller meals, lighter snacks every 3 hours. And it's really important for you to identify the signs of when you're tired physically. You might be yawning or feel hungry or restless, or maybe you're a little irritated or irritable. You've got to monitor your physical energy, because that is one of your greatest assets that's going to help you to be successful in every area of your life. So do little things, create little rituals with your physical energy. Now let's talk for a second about some suggestions on emotional energy, because your emotions can absolutely drain you. I think we all know this. But you can diffuse negative situations, whether you're impatient, anxious, insecure, by just being aware of those negative emotions. And it's important for you to quickly diffuse those negative emotions, identify them, and get them through, right? Get past them. You can also learn to fuel positive emotions, in yourself or even in people around you. Find ways to, just express appreciation, express gratitude, learn to write notes and have conversations with people you care about. That's ways to fuel your positive emotions. The other thing is, look at upsetting situations that you have in your life through a new lens. So your emotions can be determined by your philosophy. So, when you have something happen to you, step back for a second and say, hey, how can I look at this a different way? When you do that, when you diffuse negative situations, you give fuel to positive emotions, and then you re-look at these circumstances through a different lens, you're going to start to build a reserve of emotional energy, which will carry you through times when you maybe in some of these other areas of energy don't have it. So really be conscious of your emotions this week and find ways that you can create energy or eliminate the drain of energy from your emotions, because that will definitely impact your day-to-day. Now let's talk for a second about your mental energy. What can you do to increase your mental energy? We talked about physical, we talked about emotional. Now let's talk about mental, because these are different areas. You can reduce interruptions. Your mental energy is completely robbed by constantly being glued to your phone or social media or email. Respond to those types of things or set times aside to do that. But you may not notice it, but if you're multitasking between multiple things, your mind is going to get worn out. So learn to kind of time block and bulk tasks, but take those mental draining activities and put them into a block of time and put them off to the side. Also, every night, it's very important that you just identify the most important challenge or the thing that's the most important for you, even if it's difficult, that you're going to do, and jump right on it first thing in the morning and get it out of the way. Make sure that you do that, because it'll give you mental energy to know that you're prioritizing your tasks and you're doing what's important. And then let's talk for a second just now about your spiritual energy. Now, what I'm talking about here is just your being, your state of being, your passion, your purpose for life. It's very important that you learn that that's a different type of energy you can create. And one of the best ways to do this relates to the idea of identifying and working in your sweet spot, or you've heard me say before, your unique talent. Those things that you're excellent at and passionate about. Identify your sweet spot activities. Those are the ones that give you feelings of, losing time when you get it, or you get energized when you're doing things you love, right? Because when you're doing things you hate, it drains your actual spiritual energy. So when I'm talking about this, you realize we talked about physical, your emotions, and your mind. Spiritual energy is like your real you, right? So if you're doing things that you hate doing, that's going to drain you. It's not going to feed your energy. But you can learn to allocate time and energy to what you consider to be important in life, things that are going to give you purpose and passion. Purpose and passion are the things that are going to energize you everywhere in your life. And it's important, I think I've found over time, it's very important for you to live in your core values. If you've ever done things in business or work or personal or whatever that are not in your core values, the things that you truly find the most important in your life, it's going to drain you. It's going to drain you of your energy, and realize that you're evolving throughout time, and your purpose, your passion, your mission, and even your priorities are going to change. So make sure that you're dealing with your priorities. I've had this happen many times in my life where I know the things I want to be working on, but because I'm so busy, I get shifted into things I don't want to work on. And man, it just drains you. So my message here today is this. I want you to take this throughout the week and think about this. One of the best resources you could do is to create and focus on generating energy in your life. You only have a finite amount of time, but all of us have the ability to expand our energy. And if you can expand your energy in your areas of your mind, your body, your spirit, and your emotions, you've got multiple, arsenals here that you can use in order to fuel your impact and your results. So that's my message for today. I hope it's something that just kind of inspires you and gets you thinking. If you wouldn't mind, please share the episode today. Share it on your social media. Tag me if you could. I'd love to see who's out there and what you're up to. That's the Daily Mastermind on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, or YouTube. Share this episode so that other people can kind of get these thoughts as well. I know that you're the average of the people you surround yourself with. So I appreciate you being here today. I appreciate you being part of our community. I look forward to helping you. And, if there's anything I can do for you, certainly reach out. I look forward to talking with you more tomorrow. Once again, my name's George Wright III, and this has been the Daily Mastermind. Talk soon.